The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Monday episode of Running Point. I'm fired up because it's a brand new week. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you so you don't have to. And man, oh man, do we have a busy show for you today. We're going to be loading up with not only our normal recap of the weekend like we always do on Monday, preview of tonight, of course. We have brackets, ladies and gentlemen. We have girls basketball tournament time. It is locked down. The districts are huge now. Super district, deluxe district, supreme district, whatever adjective you want to use to call it now. There's a lot to unpack. We're going to reveal the brackets for you here today on the show. And through divisions 1 through 4, we're just going to go through the seedings and then go through the brackets. Tell you where your team's going to play, when your team's going to play, if you haven't been able to see it yet. These brackets got released yesterday. I want an afternoon, evening, early evening, somewhere around there. They were released on the OHSA website, and now they're also on the Northeast database website as well. And there's a lot of very interesting results and draws that came out of it. Can't wait to pop them up and obviously talk a little bit about the matchups. We will have plenty of time to preview the tournament matchups as they get closer. But the first thing we have to do today, of course, is stick to our routine and pop up the scoreboard on ysnlive.com. We always got to give our love to the YSN scoreboard on Running Point, which is presented by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. We hop back in the past to Friday, the second, I should say. And well, let's look at what went down on Friday in boys basketball action. Struthers in the NE8 gets the win over Lakeview. Final score 67-48 there. Badger and Pymatuning Valley playing, and it's Badger with the win 80-59. Big one for the Braves. Duncan Moy, another game above 40 points. I think he's only had, I could be wrong, but I think he's only had 2 games this year where he hasn't scored 30. It's something else what Duncan Moy is doing down there in Kinsman. Howland and Boardman play a thriller, a defensive thriller, but the Tigers get the win at home, 34-33. Final score there, Bristol beats Windham 72-28. Bristol, one of the best boys teams in the district for Division 4, so you got to watch out for them when they come to town. West Branch goes to Carrollton, gets the win 56-43. That is the clinching game for the West Branch Warriors and the EBC. They are now EBC champions on both the boys and girls side. Congratulations to West Branch on accomplishing that. Brook goes into Edison and gets the win 72-45. That's a final score there. Brookfield and Campbell Memorial. It's Campbell getting the win 77-50. They had multiple players in double figures, including David Moore and Josue Rodriguez. Those two are putting on a show, especially the latter half of the season. Columbiana beats Latonia 69-20, the final score there. Crestview gets the win over Champion 52-39, final score. United wins over East Palestine 78-51, no worries there. Edgewood and Jefferson, the Warriors, get the win 70-59 over their heated rivals up in Ashtabula County. Hubbard and Girard doing battle inside the NE8. It is Girard that gets a 17-point win over the Eagles. A big win for the Indians there, who had been struggling this year in the conference. Lisbon, gets the win over Wellsville. 65-29, the final score there on Friday night. South Range beat up Niles 70-47. That's your final score there. Springfield gets the win over Middle Ridge 56-39. We have Valley Christian beating Southern Local 64-21. In the MVAC Scarlet Tier, Waterloo escapes with first place still intact, 37-33 over McDonald. Austintown Fitch comes back from down 15 and wins in overtime over Ursuline 73-67. We have Lowville beating Jackson Milton last night, Friday night, I should say, 68-57. Warren JFK took care of business against St. Thomas Aquinas, 81-36, the final score there. Cardinal Mooney got into a dogfight with Cheney, but did get the win, 67-56, as they pull away late. Mohawk beats Riverside, 67-36, the final score there. It was close for a while in East Liverpool, but they pull away from East, 78-62, the final score there. Beaver Local all over Oakland, 70-43. Liberty falls to LeBray, 76-33, final score there. Western Reserve gets the win over Sebring, 32-22, the final score in that one. Newton Falls is able to handle Garrettsville Garfield, 60-38, the final score. We have Middlefield Cardinal going to Grand Valley, and the Mustangs get the win 60-38. Camel loses to Marlington on the road 60-45. Lakeside is able to go to Geneva, and Geneva's offense, wow, another 90-point performance for them. They've done that to multiple YSN schools so far this year up in Ashtabula County. And then last but not least, Canfield gets the win over Warren Harding 51-40, no, it's a 5, sorry. 51-44 over Warren Harding. Let's jump on to Saturday. And we will go in girls basketball first. Archbishop Hoban gets the win over Start, 52-36. Final score there. LeBray was able to hold off Grand Valley. We knew that would be a good one. They were right next to each other in the RPI rankings coming into that day. And LeBray gets to win 55-52. West Branch defense locks down on Austintown Fitch, 50-21. The final score there. Howland gets the win over Boardman with Alyssa Masucci hitting a buzzer beater, 54-52. The final score in that one. Heartland Christian beats Malvern 57-21. Lowville beats Valley Christian 44-11. The final score there. Madison takes care of Conneaut 55-32. Edgewood beats Jefferson 48-36. The final score there. Newton Falls, they get the win over McDonald 59-28. Canfield gets the win over Warren Harding 31-28. And then Salem gets the win over loses to Notre Dame Cathedral Latin on the road 53-49. The final score there. Boys basketball on Saturday. Ashtabula St. John got the win over Lordstown 58-47. Salem rocks Poland. They were up 24-1 after one quarter and ended up winning 69-39. South Range and Ursuline. The second quarter, where Ursuline outscored the Raiders by 17, was more than enough to get the win, 72-51, the final score in that one. East Liverpool beats Alliance 73-62. Cardinal Mooney goes on the road, beats St. Thomas Aquinas 57-49, the final score there. East Palestine falls to Valley Christian 70-32. And then Heartland Christian falls to Lowville at home 70-61. We did have hockey on Saturday. Aurora beats Canfield 6-3 on Sunday. Canfield bounced back with a win over Cleveland Heights 8-0, the final score in that one. So that is your weekend recap. I know we usually take a little bit more time and talk about these games, but with all we have to get to today, we're going to make it a quick scoreboard recap, and we're going to go, if you bear with me, because I have to switch the screens to share, we're going to go right to the OHSAA website, and we're going to pull up the brackets for the girls basketball postseason. So let's go there. We'll pop this up real quick so you can see what I'm looking at. All of these brackets and seedings can be found at the NEDAB, which is the Northeast District Database website. They can also be found on the OHSA's main website with brackets and tournament coverage is the link you should follow there if you're there. I always find it easier just to go to the Northeast District. They're all in one spot. You don't have to worry about, searching through the whole state. So I always go to the NEDAB and get our info there. Let's go into the seedings. Right? Oh. I mean, those are the hold on, those are the assignments and locations, not the seeds. Well, you know what? We'll skip the seeds, right? We'll just go right into the brackets. I guess the seeds you'd have to go to the RPI. Here's the bracket. We're starting in Division 1, Northeast 1. The districts in this bracket are going to be at Perry. And that's going to be in Perry, Ohio, not Maslin Perry, by the way. So here's what it looks like. The top line of the bracket has Brush. Excuse me. Brush is the top line of the bracket. They are awaiting the winner of Rhodes and Marshall. You go to the next line of this Division 1 bracket. You have Twinsburg against Lakewood down there. They will play the winner of Willoughby South and Walsh Jesuit. You go to the bottom half of this bracket and you see Rocky River. And with the bye, they will play the winner of North Canton Hoover and North Ridgeville down there. And then at the bottom, you have Revere. They were waiting the winner of Maslin Perry and Boardman down there. So this is the one that we see Boardman go into. And they're on the bottom line of the bracket. They're playing Maslin Perry to open up. That's a 45 seed. Boardman is the 11, so that'll be a home game for Boardman. And if they win, they'll have another home game against the 45th seeded Revere. Boardman, the largest seed they'd have to deal with in the district championship, district semifinals, if they got there, as you can see, is that North Ridgeville team seeded 12th. If numbers went out, it would be 11 versus 12 there. And on the top half of the bracket, if numbers play out, it would really be 5 versus 5 versus 33. So, not the toughest bracket in the world numbers-wise. Now, obviously, team-wise, with the new way that these teams are seeded with RPI, a little bit more of a hodgepodge with so many teams in a district. It was a little bit easier to judge when it was 1 to 26. Now it's 1 to 50, 55 or whatever the total is. So you never want to say a bracket's easy, but when Boardman's the 11 and they're the second highest seed in the bracket, then they have to contend with really the 12 and the 5, and then after that it's really what the 33 seed is the next highest. So as far as brackets go, I think Boardman got a pretty good draw. We will talk about their matchups and their road to a district championship a little bit more as the tournaments get closer and closer. We don't want to go too in-depth today because we have so much to get to, but we will kind of share this bracket. I'll go through it one more time. Boardman on the bottom. They will play Maslin Perry on February 17th. That'll be in Boardman at 1 o'clock, and then they will play. If they win, they will also get another home game against Revere, who is the 45 seed. And that game would be on the 22nd, which I believe is a Thursday at 7. So Division 1 dates, just to remind you, are going to be a little bit different than Divisions 2 through 4. They stagger them 2 through 4. Pretty much going to follow Wednesday, Saturday throughout the whole district and regional. Division 1 looks like it's going to be Thursday, Saturday, with the first games in the sectional is going to be on Saturday, the 17th, and then the next games would be on Thursday, the 22nd, and then the next Saturday, and so on. And then their district championship, of course, would be on March 1st, 7 o'clock there. And it says TBA, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be in Perry in the district championship. I mean, I would be that's kind of throwing me off a little bit because the semifinals are in the same place. So I don't know why the finals would be somewhere different, but should be in Perry for the district championship game. Boardman, the only YSN team in this particular bracket. That is Northeast 1 for Division 1. So if you go to the NEDAB and you go east, you'll just find Boardman in this East 1 right here. Now we go to East 2. We only have 3 Division 1 teams. So not as much to talk about in the Division 1 brackets. But this Northeast 2 bracket starts with the top line. Hathaway Brown, the 17th seed, getting the bye. They will await 71st seeded the Learning Center from Akron Garfield. They will play the 2 seed Uniontown Lake. Next line of the bracket, you have Euclid, the 64 seed. They are going to play Highland, the 19. You have Glen Oak, the 40 seed. They're going to play Steele, the 29. You go to the bottom half of the bracket. Elyria, the 69, gets a bye. They will await the winner of Stowe against Ashtabula Lakeside. And then the bottom half is where you see Austintown Fitch as the 17 seed. They await the winner of Canton McKinley and St. Joe's Academy. That's 31 versus 37, which should actually be a pretty competitive sectional semifinal before Austintown Fitch gets the winner. Fitch will get a home game because no matter who wins that one, Fitch will be the higher seed. So they'll have one win to try to get into the district semifinals. The highest seed they'd have to contend with would be Stowe Monroe Falls, of course, and they are the favorites to get out of that sectional going as the 4 seed. So if numbers play out, Fitch would have to deal with the 4 seed Stowe in the district semifinals. And the top half of the bracket actually pretty tough as well because you find the 2 seed up here in Uniontown Lake, but you also have the 29th seed in this bracket as well, which is higher than anybody outside of Boardman and Boardman has the 11 and 12, and then the next highest is 33. So Fitch has the 2, the 17, the 29. So, but the 2 seed, obviously the favorite, and the 4 seed, of course, in this bracket. So maybe a little bit harder of a draw for Fitch than Boardman when you look at the numbers, but you just never know how these teams are going to show up. Once again, we will go deeper into these matchups and these paths to a district championship when we get closer to tournament time. Right now, we're just going through the brackets and letting you know where everybody is. Reminder, the Division 1, the sectional semifinals start on the 17th of February, and then the sectional finals are the 22nd. District semifinals are the 27th, and the district championship games are March 1st. That'll be different than Divisions 2 through 4, which will be all on the same date with each other, but not of Division 1. So we go to Northeast 3. Valley Forge is the top line in the bracket. They await the winner of the 1 seed, which is Archbishop Homan. That's their first game. They have Barberton, the 70 seed. That'll be on the 17th at 1 o'clock. If Hoban wins, they will go and play Valley Forge. That'll be at home too, as long as Hoban wins. Other teams in this bracket, you have the 20th seeded Akron Ellet. They are awaiting the winner of NDCL and Avon. That's a 27 seed versus a 61 seed. The bottom half of the bracket, you have Madison, the 14 seed. They are waiting the winner of Hudson and Riverside, 25 versus 39. You have at the bottom Wooster, 68, and they are waiting the winner of Akron North, 72, and Medina, who is 8. And really, you got to think Medina is the team that's going to be the favorites to see Hoban in the district championship game. You look at the bottom half of this bracket, the only other team that's there is Madison at 14. And Madison is a little bit of a smaller Division One school. They play in a conference that is full of Division Two teams. So you never know how that's going to play out as a 14. But they do have a rather easy sectional with Hudson in there and Riverside. But I wouldn't be surprised if one of those teams could, I don't know much about Riverside or Hudson as of yet, but they could kind of sneak up on Madison maybe, with Madison's schedule being a little bit below D1 level. So now that will be the end of Division 1 because those are our 3 teams. You have Hoban in East 3, Boardman in East 1, Fitch in East 2. Hoban is the 1 seed, and they are obviously trying to be earning that 1 seed in the district. Let's go to Division 2 where it gets a lot more condensed and we see a lot more YSN teams in these brackets. We'll start with East 1 in Division 2. Northeast 1, Division 2. This district will be held at Peninsula. That's Woodridge, by the way, Woodridge High School. So Woodridge will be where this district is held. And Edgewood, who is the 3 seed in Division 2, is the top line in the bracket. They elected to take the bye, so they will await the winner of the 22nd seeded Ursuline Irish, and they will play the 50 seed, which is Kinston. On the next line of the bracket, you have Lutheran East. They are playing the 43rd seeded St. Martin team that is going to be 43 versus 16 in that matchup. You have the 46th seed and the 15th seed in the bottom half with Aurora playing Franciscan. Bottom half of this bracket, you have Cleveland Glenville. They are in the 27th seed. They have a bye. They await the winner of Jefferson versus Crestwood. That's a 24 versus 32. If Jefferson wins, it would be a game at Jefferson between 24 and 27. Bottom line of the bracket, you have Gilmore Academy, the 5 seed. They await the winner of Fairview and Alliance down there, and that is the 45 seed and the 37 seed. If numbers play out, of course, you would see that 5 seed in Gilmore Academy. They would go up against Edgewood in the district championship if numbers play out and if the favorites get in. Some other teams in this bracket that are worthy of being talked about. Of course, you have Glenville, the 27. They're the next highest seed in the bottom half of the bracket. You have the 15 seed Aurora that we know is always a good team. You have Lutheran East, who's sneaky good, sitting at that middle team seed is 16. And I honestly wouldn't sleep on Ursuline either as 22 right there. They play a really high division schedule. They play up a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ursuline's able to make some noise either. Jefferson and YSN school sitting at 24. Wouldn't it be wild if Jefferson and Edgewood, the rivalry, got into the district championship game? And we had a lot on the line. We would have a lot on the line for that one if it were to happen. So this is your Woodridge district for Division 2. We see Edgewood once again the top seed in this district. Let's take you back and go into East 2. This district will be held in Macedonia, which is Nordonia High School. So this is a Nordonia district. top line of the bracket looks like this. You have the bye going to Early College, Cleveland Early College, 63 seed there. They are awaiting the winner of the 10 seed in Laurel versus Bedford, the 60 seed. Down here you have the 31st seeded Field. They are going to play the 33rd seeded Lake, the Learning Center. Canton South is 18, and then West Geauga is 44. We go to the bottom half of the bracket, and you have Rocky River as the 26th seed. They have the bye. They're awaiting Chagrin Falls and Cloverleaf down there. And then the bottom, you have Hubbard, the 47th seed. They have a bye. They are waiting Coventry and West Branch. So obviously, if West Branch wins that game, they are the 4 seed. They would get the home game against Hubbard, which is a local matchup. Ysn would love that, to have 2 Ysn teams in the same district game. Some of the West Branch has to look out for. Really, they have a pretty favorable draw on their side of the district, with the 28-6 seed being the highest there. And then you go up top and you look at some of the teams that you have to watch out for. I think Laurel is definitely a very good 10 seed, probably maybe one of the best 10 seeds that you'll see in any of these districts. You can't sleep on Laurel. They were a Division III power last year, moved back up to Division II this year. They have multiple D1 commits, I believe, on their starting lineup. So you can't sleep on Laurel. And then Canton South, a team that used to be familiar with West Branch in the EBC, sitting there as well as the 18 seed in that top half of the district. So I wouldn't be too quick to sleep on the Wildcats either. Once again, this district will be held in Nordonia, the sectional semifinals on the 21st, and then the sectional finals on the 24th, district semifinals on the 28th, and then the next Saturday would be the district championship game, which would be the 2nd. So this will follow a Wednesday, Saturday pattern. Wednesday for the sectional semis, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, and I think even the regionals goes into Wednesday, Saturday as well, if I'm not mistaken. We go back. We're going to go to Northeast 3 in Division 2. Oh, never mind. There's not 2. There's 2 East. So that'll do it for Division 2, which means since we're done with Division 2, we're halfway there. And it also means we have time to take a commercial break and come back with more bracket breakdown of the girls' Division 2. We're on Division 2. Well, actually, we'll go into Division 3 after this break. But we did 1 and 2. We're going to Division 3 after this commercial break on Running Point.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you as always by our good friends. Hold on, I feel a sneeze. Gotta keep it away. All right, we're good. Well, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. We are in the midst of our kind of revealing the brackets in the girls district tournament that is coming up. We went over divisions 1 and 2 before the break. I want to remind everybody that if you missed that or want to look at the brackets and get a good look at where your team is, where I go is the Northeast database, which is NEDAB. If you Google that, you'll find it really quickly. That's isolated the Northeast districts, right? So you look at all the Northeast districts really easy and quick. If you want to look at the state brackets and see, where the other regions are and what the whole scope of the whole state tournament is, you can, of course, go to the OHSA main site and find the big state brackets there as well. Every district of every region of every in the state can be found there. But if you're just looking for the Northeast district and you want a, easier experience in looking at those, I would recommend the Northeast database. NEDAB is what you search. In fact, I'll show you that before I leave that page when we get done with our districts rundown. We did divisions 1 and 2. We'll pop this back up and full screen it for you so you can see what I'm looking at. We'll go into division 3 now for the district tournaments. We'll start with East 1. And this district will be held at Lakeview. So the semifinals and the finals will be held in Lakeview. And the top line of the district looks like this, as we see Lake Ridge Academy up there as the 48. They await the winner of Crestview, the 3 seed, against Andrews Osborne, the 44. Bottom half of that sectional, or I should say that district, sees Columbia, the 7 seed. They will await the winner of Maslin Tuslaw, the 13, and the 35 seed Mineral Lake Catholic, who is a sneaky 35 because, of course, they play a very good schedule. We all know that. We've seen Mineral Lake Catholic in a lot of different sports kind of sneak up on people. Campbell Memorial starts the second half of the bracket down there as the 45 seed. They await the winner of the 2nd seeded Keystone. They will play Liberty, the 41 seed. Orville, the 37 seed, got the bye on the bottom. They will await the winner of 4th seeded Rootstown and Lakeview down there. So you look at this district and, man, Crestview's undefeated, but they have a tough draw because no one avoided them. The 2 seed went right after them. I don't think anyone wanted to deal with Warrensville Heights, and I think that really hurt Crestview because the 2 and the 4 went after the 3 because no one wanted to go after the 1 in Warrensville Heights. So you see the 2 seed come into this bracket. You see the 4 seed come into this bracket as well, with the 3 seeded Crestview sitting right there at the top line. For those of you that didn't know, Crestview is the 3rd seed in the district behind Warrensville Heights, who is the 1. And then, of course, down here you have Keystone. LaGrange Keystone is 2. And 4 is Rootstown. So 3 of the top 4 teams are in this district. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be a gauntlet. And the way it shakes out, Lakeview is going to be the host of it. Some other teams outside the obvious I think to look out for. I already said it. I think Mineral Lake Catholic is sitting there. Maslin Tuslaw is a very good team at 13, and they are used to tournament experience. They have girls in that program that know how to win, multiple sport athletes. And anytime you go into these smaller divisions, I think you really have to watch out for those teams that have successful programs in other sports, because there's a good bet that players from that program are in the program, in the basketball program. So, you look at Tuslaw, who has a very successful softball program that is always in regionals and in the district conversations. They have winners on the team. They're a 13 seed, and they are going to have that winning mentality trickle in. They might not have the same caliber of team that they have in softball, but they still have a lot of, winning mindset characters in that locker room. So you always have to be careful of them. And I always have to be weary of a team like that. And then, of course, the 7 seed Columbia Station, not to be messed with either. So you have the 3 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, the 4 seed, the 7 seed, and the 13 seed, all in this bracket. And I wouldn't be extremely shocked if any of those teams, 2 through 13, won a district. I think they all can say that they have a chance. The hardest is Tuslaw, because obviously if you win your sectional, you have to go right to the 7 seed. It does not get easier. And then if you beat the 7 seed, you have to beat the 3 seed. And then if you beat them, you have to beat whoever dukes it out between 4 and 2 down here, Rootstown and Keystone. Now I have not seen Keystone live. Once again, I'll make the same argument that I do for Tuslaw. They have successful softball programs, so I'm just assuming that they have at least 1 or 2 players in that locker room that have that same winning mentality on their basketball team. They're the 2 seed for a reason. I have been told by a couple of coaches in our district that they have seen a little bit of film on Keystone. This is just what they said. I've never seen them. This is not my opinion. They said maybe they're a weak 2 seed. So not saying that they're not a great team, but maybe they're not, to be feared as much as a 2 seed would. That's just what some people have said. I have no idea if that's true or not. If it is, then you might want to lean towards Rootstown in this district. But Rootstown, the one knock on them, and it's always a knock on Rootstown, unfortunately, is the schedule they play. They don't play the beefiest schedule in Division 3. So you wonder how that'll affect them going into a tournament with a lot of really big names and big teams that they have to contend with. If numbers play out, though, it'll be 2 versus 4 in the district semifinals. And then up here, if numbers play out, it would be 7 versus 3 in these district semifinals. But Crestview, a very tough draw in the district in Lakeview. We will go from there to East 2 in Division 3. And this is the bracket that will be held in Struthers, which is a beautiful place for a district tournament. And you see the top line of the bracket looks like this. Grand Valley, Orwell Grand Valley out of the CVC, who is the champions of that conference. They will be the 15 seed. They await the winner of 17-seeded Trinity against 33rd seeded Brookfield. So no matter what, Grand Valley will have a home game in the tournament in the sectional finals. You look at the bottom half of the bracket, Garrettsville Garfield gets to bye as the 39 seed. They await the winner of Apple Creek Waynedale, who is the 6, and Beechwood, who is the 42. Down here, you have Columbiana as the 10 seed. They await the winner of Champion and Mooney. That should be actually a really good sectional. Champion, Mooney, Columbiana, they're all really good. They're all YSN teams as well. So that should be a fun one. No matter what, though, Columbiana will have a home game because they are the top seed out of that. So Champion will play at home against Mooney, and the winner of that will earn the right to go to Columbiana. And then at the bottom half, you have Middle Ridge as the 9 seed. They await the winner of Wooster Triway and Hillsdale down there. Triway is the 12 seed. Hillsdale is the 40. So if number plays out, you'll have 9 versus 12 there on the 24th against Middle Ridge. You look at this. You look at this district. You have the 10, the 9, the 10, the 12, 15 down here, 16 down here on this side. Up here, you have the 6 seed. You have the 17 seed. You have the 15 seed. So if numbers play out, you'll see Waynedale against Grand Valley in the district semis. And down here, you would see Columbiana versus Middle Ridge if numbers played out, which would be a rematch of the volleyball district championship, by the way. And then if numbers play out all the way, you would see Apple Creek Waynedale against Middle Ridge in the district championship. But we'll have to see, because there's a lot of condensement, right? That's 9, 10, 12, all in the same district, along with 15, 16. So there's a lot of parity in this district. Maybe not as much firepower as the Lakeview one, but a lot of parity in this one. So this one actually should be pretty dang fun. Let's go into the next district. It's called West, but with the new style of districts, everyone's going to be thrown into the same pot. So we'll see YSN teams in this one as well. I know normally you wouldn't see many YSN teams winding up in the West brackets, but now with the elite, with the Super Deluxe district, you just never know where teams are going to line up. So here is Northeast 3. This district is going to be held in North Ridgeville. And the top line of the bracket looks like this. The 1 seed, Warrensville Heights, is the top of the line of the bracket. They have the bye. They will await the winner of Mapleton and Northwestern, Salem Northwestern down there. That is 26 versus 34. Poland is in the other sectional. They have an automatic bye. They already have their matchup set with Pymatunning Valley on the 24th. That'll be in Pie Valley. They're the 21 seed. So Poland will go on the road to Pymatunning Valley, 22 versus 21 on Saturday. Winner goes to the district semis. That matchup already set. We go to the bottom half of the bracket. Cuyahoga Heights, the 8 seed. They have the bye. They await the winner of Wellington and Black River. That is the 19 versus 32. And then the bottom line, of course, is Kirtland sitting there as the 24 seed. They await the winner of LeBray, the 14, and Norway in the 23. That's a tough first round matchup for LeBray. Norway is a very good basketball team, always in the conversation and never to be taken lightly. So a very tough first matchup for LeBray, but if they win, they would earn a road trip. No, they would earn a home game, against Kirtland. Actually, no matter what, Kirtland's going to be on the road. They're the lowest seed in that sectional. So Kirtland's either going to LeBray or they're going to Norway. We definitely hope it's LeBray because we're rooting for our YSN teams. If numbers play out, LeBray would get into the district semifinals as the 14 seed, and they would play Cuyahoga Heights in the 8 versus 14 matchup in the semis. If numbers play out down here, it would be Pie Valley against Warrensville Heights, 1 versus 21. So that is your Northeast 3. Remember, the districts will be held in North Ridgeville on February 28th is when the district semifinals happen. And just like D2, they would follow the Wednesday-Saturday pattern starting on Wednesday, February 21st. Let's go to the last bracket in Division 3, which is 4 down here, Northeast 4. This bracket will be held in Worcester for their districts. And you have the top line of the bracket. It is going to be Brooklyn getting the bye as the 43 seed. The 5 seed Chippewa Chips will be hosting Akron Manchester for the right to get to that game, and it'll be a home game for Chippewa as long as they're able to take care of business in the sectional finals. Below them, you have a sectional already set between Fairless and Ravenna Southeast. That is a 28 versus 27 seed right there. Bottom half of the bracket, you see Smithville, the 11. They will await the winner of Wycliffe and Independence, which is 20 versus 30. Bottom line of the bracket, South Range taking the bye as the 29 seed. They await the winner of United, who is the 18, and St. Joe's, the 31. If United wins, they would play this game at United. If St. Joe's wins, they would play this game in the South Range. Even though they already have a site contact for this one, it says South Range. I don't think that is correct. I would not rely on that. I think that one would be dependent on, unless there's some reason that United can't host that game, even if they win. If maybe the school has something going on Saturday the 24th. But if everything is the same as it always is, the high seed should host that sectional, even though the bracket does say at South Range. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens there. Sometimes the bracket has been wrong with host sites. So it could be a typo. It could be someone inserted that wrong. But if United wins, they are the highest seed. They should have the right to host that sectional final. Like I said, there could be something going on at the school that Saturday, maybe, that forces that game to be at South Range no matter what. But that would be unfortunate because United has earned the right to host those two games. And this one will be at United in the sectional semifinal. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see. Well, one, United has to take care of business against a St. Joe's team that plays up and plays a very tough schedule. So if United wins, pointing to them having a home game, even though that bracket says otherwise. And that was the last West bracket in Division 3. I want to actually go, I was so thrown off by this. I'm not used to this setup. Before we start Division 4, I have to finish up Division 2 because I just saw West and I immediately thought, well, we're not in there because that's how it usually is. But, then you come and remember that, teams are scattered everywhere. So we're going to go back into Division 2. Sorry for backtracking on you, but there are teams that we did not hit. And this is technically the Northeast 3 district. This district semis and championship will be held at Uniontown Lake, which has been host to a lot of good districts on YSN in the past. And we are hoping that we get YSN teams there again this year. Top line of the bracket, it is a bye from the 65th seeded Lincoln West. They await the winner of St. V's, which is the 1 seed, against Shaw, which is the 61. Girard is there in the next line of the bracket as the 21st seed. They play at home against Youngstown East. In the 34 seed game, you have Marlington as the 25 seed. They will play host to Holy Name, the 42 seed. Winners will play each other. The high seed in that sectional is Girard, so if they win, they will earn a home game against either Marlington or Holy Name. We go to the bottom half of this bracket. Perry is the 14 seed. They await the winner of Struthers and Salem. That should be a good all-YSN matchup. And then the bottom half of this district, you have Cleveland Central Catholic. They are awaiting the winner of Brookside and Canfield. Canfield, the 12 seed. If they win, they earn a home game. And if they win, they would be the top seed in this district, in this bottom half of the district. So if numbers play out, it would be Canfield the 12 versus Perry the 14 down in the bottom, which would be a very good district champion semifinal. And if numbers play out down here, it would be the 21st seeded Girard Indians against Akron St. Vincent St. Mary, the 1 seed. I think this is another instance like we saw in Division 1 with Warrensville Heights, where a lot of people avoided the 1 seed in St. V. So you see the 1 seed and see no other single-digit seeds in this bracket. Let's go to the Northeast 4 district in Division 2. This one will be held at Elyria. Top line of the bracket, you have Geneva up there on the lake. They are the 6th seed. They have the bye. They await the winner of Conneaut and Berkshire, which is the 35 versus the 28. You have Cleveland Max Hayes against Talmadge, 19 versus 55 there. Ravenna, the 58 seed, going to be playing Howland, the 8 seed. Howland gets a home game, and they'll get 2 if they win. Woodridge is in the bottom half of this bracket. 29 seed, they get the bye. They will await the winner of Firelands and Bay Village Bay. That's 41 versus 23. Bottom line of the bracket, you have another learning center. This one's Akron East Community Learning Center. They await the winner of Buckeye and Copley. So you do see one big YSN team with a big chance to win a district down here in Howland as the 8. You also see Conneaut here. If Howland wins If numbers play out, it would be Howland, Geneva in the district semis. Down here, if numbers play out, let's see, it would be the 23, which is Firelands in the district semis against the 2 seed Copley down there. So once again, if numbers play out all the way, it would be 2 versus 8 in this district. One more to get through in Division 2, and then we will have our finale down there in Division 4. This is Northeast 5. This district will be held in Normandy, not the beach in France. This one, the top line of the bracket, you have Niles, the 49 seed. They get the bye. They're winning Streetsboro, the 9 seed, against East Tech, which is the 56. Elyria Catholic down there, the next line, 13 seed. They host Clearview. And then you have Pepper Pike Orange, the 36, against Springfield, Akron Springfield, the 40. Bottom half of this bracket, you have Canal Fulton Northwest, the 51 seed. They have the bye. They await the winner of CVCA, the 7 seed. They are playing Gates Mills Hawken, the 57 seed. And then Norton, the 17 seed, has a bye. They await the winner of Harvey and the 11 seeded Beaumont, Cleveland Heights Beaumont. So one YSN team in this one, as you have Orange and Niles, two YSN teams in this one. Niles and Orange both in this district, which once again will be held in Normandy. That'll do it for Division 2. Let's get our finale and go over into Division 4, which is the smallest division. We have 3 brackets to get to. Final stretch, buckle your seatbelts. Here's Northeast 1 in Division 4. Top line of the bracket, you have Richmond Heights, the 3 seed. They get the bye. They await the winner of Middlefield Cardinal and Matthews. That is 31 versus 29. Next line of the bracket, you have St. Thomas Aquinas, the 25 seed. They will play East Canton, the 13 seed. Newton Falls is the 23rd seed. They will play Wyndham, the 12 seed. Lisbon got the bye on the bottom half of the bracket. They are the 28 seed. They await the winner of Canton Central Catholic, the 14, and Wellsville, the 11. So no matter what, Lisbon will be on the road. Maplewood is the 10 seed. They are on the bottom line of this bracket. They have the bye. They await the winner of Rittman and Western Reserve. Western Reserve is the 8 seed. Rittman is the 33. If Western Reserve wins, they would host Maplewood in an 8 versus 10 matchup. Let's go into Division 4 and the second bracket of Division 4, Northeast 2. This one will be held at Minnell Ridge for a district. That's nostalgic for me because as a high schooler, all of our district championships and district semifinals, and back then in 2011, everything was in one spot. It was all in Minnell Ridge, a great place for tournament time. Badger is the top line in the district. They have the 2 seed. They get the bye. They will await the winner of St. John, which is the 24, against Jackson Milton, the 21. Then you have Oberlin, who is the 35 seed. They will travel to Springfield, the 5 seed, and they are also the reigning district and regional champions for the Tigers. You have Open Door Christian, 27. They will play Heartland Christian, the 19th. You go to the bottom half of this bracket. Excuse me. You have the 7 seed. That is Cornerstone Christian. They have the bye. They will await the winner of the 30 seed, which is Fairport Harding, against East Palestine, the 22. Then last but not least, in the bottom half of this bracket, you have Our Lady of Elms getting a bye. They await the winner of Warren JFK, the 4, against Latonia. So I'll scroll through this bracket one more time so you can see how it looks. And then we'll go back to look at the last bracket of Division 4. Once again, that one will be held at Middle Ridge. So one more bracket here to reveal on Running Point. Here we go. The Northeast 3. This district will be held at Norway. And the top line of the bracket is Lordstown, the 38th seed. They have the bye, winning the winner of first seed Laudonville and Valley Christian. That's 1 versus 37. Bristol is the second half of this district. They are the 17 seed. They await the winner of McDonald and Lowville, a conference matchup between the 15 and 20. Bottom half of this bracket, you have Kidron Central Christian, the 18 seed. They await the winner of Mogador and Medina Christian. And then the bottom half, you have Dalton. They are waiting the winner of Sebring versus Southern. So Southern is the top seed in that sectional. So if Southern gets the win, they will host Dalton, who is the 19. And then they are actually the top seed in that whole bottom half of the district, as Mogador is the 9, Southern is the 6. So if you go by numbers, Southern is the favorite to get to the district championship on that side of the bracket. They will deal with the 1 seed up here, which is Laudonville, if numbers play out. Laudonville, who is actually a good friend of Ysn, their coach Tyler Bates has always been a fan of Ysn, so we would be tickled if the Ysn family went up against his team in the district championship. A good way to get him on the network. So that is Division 4. Those are all your brackets. We have 3 teams in Division 1. We've gone over the first 3 there. All the 5 Division 2 brackets have been released. Here on Running Point, 4 Division 3 brackets and 3 Division 4 brackets. Reminder, if you were watching this and you were confused why you saw a lot of new teams that you don't normally see, this year is a different format. This year, you have to combine all the districts. So last year you would just see the ones in East 1 and 2, and those teams would be the only teams that you would have to play in a district. But now all the districts are connected. So a team that would normally line up in the west part of the Northeast district, they can now pop wherever they want. So that's why you see a team like Wingdale going to Struthers. You see a team like Warrensville Heights popping into a district, and you see that Crestview Lakeview district looked rattled with away teams as well. So it's a new era of district basketball, not just with the RPI rankings, but now as they keep combining the districts as well. So we're seeing a lot of new teams, which is always fun. And these districts are going to be tough. That's one thing that you have to really realize now, that they're going to be a little bit tougher. You're going to have teams that you would normally see in a regional now going to be in your district. Here's how you would find the Northeast database. You would pop up on this website right here. Actually, this is OHSA. Let's go back to if you search any DAB, you can pop up to this homepage right here. And then if you go to Northeast Sports and Tournaments, you find whatever sport you want. Right now it's girls basketball, and that's how you get to this screen. Once again, this is isolated for Northeast District. So that's the only difference. You can go in the OHSA website and you can find the whole state brackets, which I'll do right now. You can get to it from this. You just click that big OHSA logo, and now you're in the whole the big brackets. You can go into girls basketball right here. And now you can, from this page, you can look at the whole state, right? You go to statewide tournament brackets. And from here, you can look at every region in the state. You don't have to limit yourself to just Northeast. I always dislike having one spot where it's all the Northeast districts right in the one page. So, but if you want to look at the whole state, this is how you do it. We are so excited for postseason. I am amped up. I know all of you guys are too. We have tons of viewers right now on the show. They're ready for districts. They're ready for brackets. As we get closer and as the regular season starts to wind down and we get more time to research on these teams and trying to break down these matchups, we will have more in-depth coverage of what the tournament will look like, what you should watch out for, what teams are, poised to make a run, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, we just wanted to get them out. Like, see, these are the brackets. These are what they look like. These are where your teams will play. So that's what we did here today. Let's see how much time we have. We are right over the 2:00 hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the show now. I'm just going to remind you that if you want to watch games tonight, there are some really good ones, mostly non-conference tonight, as teams are starting to finish their conference season, and they are going to these non-conference games getting ready for tournaments. So a lot of non-conference matchups tonight, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, possibly 12 broadcasts on the network tonight that you can find at ysnlive.com/live. Enjoy the night of coverage and enjoy tournament time that it's coming up. Enjoy the excitement of tournament time. And of course, the boys would be next week. So we have a fun couple weeks coming up. ysnlive.com/live. Find the games. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Running Point.